committee members have reviewed. I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Item number 1 under new business is approval of a bid award for Public Works contractor Ryan Shirley, Inc. for Southern Garden Storm Drain Cleanout Project. The total is $91,680. So,
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Councilor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hopefully everybody's doing well. As stated, this is authorization for a public works contract to be awarded to Ryan Shirley Incorporated for clean out of one of our larger storm drain systems. This system is located just to the north of what you would recognize as the Southern Gardens neighborhood. Fees for this are the $91,680 that's covered in our operations budget. We generally have been running kind of an annual need to have this clean out. Fortunately, over the last couple of years, things have kind of slowed a little bit, and we've made some other improvements upstream of this, so we've been able to stretch this need to now just about 2 years. The last time we did this was June of 22.
Sylvan, I'm a little confused because I don't know where Southern Gardens is. What's
So
the main
you
landmark
think about,
in here?
so if you think of,
I'm assuming from Southern Gardens, it's on the south side of town.
Southern Gardens Drive is off of Veterans Memorial Parkway. Think of the University Mall and Veterans Memorial Parkway. The used to be the DCH Credit Union is now the Red Oaks Credit Union.
Okay.
Make a left turn if you're traveling eastbound. That would take you north to that cul-de-sac neighborhood.
Tennis courts.
It sits
Yeah,
right
the old
behind
racket.
the Lawful City
All
Center.
right, I know where it is. And so 90,000 for a clean out. The last time we did it was when?
Last time we did it was July of 22.
Is that? Are we expecting to do it again in summer of 26?
We are doing a couple of things, and Mike and I are working together to look at what additional improvements we can make upstream of this channel that will reduce the amount of silt and sediment we're starting to get here. So we're gonna be looking at other investments that we can be making that'll improve that. But until we get that in place, I expect probably 2 years from now, we'll be back again, if we haven't got all those other improvements in place.
90 grand's a standard.
It has
Pretty
been-
typical what it costs to
has
clean
been-
out.
It has certainly escalated since COVID, as with everything. Our typical expenses for this have been running roughly 50 to 65. Last year, it was just over 68. So this year, it's the 91. And we did add a bit of extra services to this one for some hauling off of materials that we would generally do ourselves in-house, but we are now committing our crews to other in-house work to be done. So we've added that part to this contract.
Mr. Busby, this Southern Gardens flooded pretty severely back in 2010. And we looked at some engineering solutions to the issues in that whole drainage basin. And the answers that came back to us were tens of millions of dollars. You've got a railroad issue, a sedimentation issue for railroad that I believe is just north of that site, if I'm reading that map correctly. You've got Highway 82 and its own set of drainage issues in that dip that's up there. It would require a massive amount of work, and the theory at the time was every 2 years or so, let's do a maintenance project out there, because it would be much cheaper over time than trying to get a complete overhaul of that entire drainage basin with the railroad, with 82. So that's where we are today. We continue to evaluate to see if there's any other solutions that present itself. I know post April 27th, we took another look at it to see if there were any, that changed any of the dynamics that really did in that area. Maybe if what AlDOT's planning, maybe a future of the intersection of University Boulevard and 82 might improve the overall drainage in that area, then we can come back and see if there's any cheaper solutions affordable solutions that could be done. In the meantime, those cleanings have been our best option.
And when it floods, Sylvan, show me what floods.
So what generally catches in the flood is, like as the mayor just described, it starts from that 82 crossover and builds back. So it would get,
I can't read, is this 82?
no, 82 is actually down in this corner. So what, and this ditch goes into a open ditch along here. So that flooding picks up back here and pushes back into the neighborhood from here. And then this is where you get the spill out, because all of this is enclosed channels.
And then you get sedimentation coming down from the railroad line
And
working
this
the
is-
other direction.
This is, so Karam City Street kind of sits up on a hill, is that sloping up? Is this down below that?
It would be, I believe it's below it.
This trail says it's down where the old racket courts used to be?
It's where it is, it's near Wood Square. It's behind where old Wood Square was.
Okay. All right.
Before the tornado, we used to find big lots, buggies in those culverts underneath.
Other questions? Entertain a motion approved.
So moved.
Second.
Move second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 1 is approved.
Thank you, Counselor. Thanks, Mayor.
Thanks, Sylvan.
Item number 2 is approval of the minor public works contract with Robinson and Sons for water tank repairs that totals $36,000. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you. This is to make some minor repairs to, various water tanks throughout the city. We do annual inspections, and so these are items that come out of annual inspections, and most of these are gonna be, changing or adding the duckbill valves or, installing vent gaskets and different screening on the roof vents of the tanks. And then also, some of the ladders that go up the tank, adding some safety equipment on those. So this is in the amount of $36,000. This is funded out of Ed Love's operations account.
Motion.
Second.
Move second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3, item number 2 is approved. Item number 3 is approval to apply for a TAP grant funding to support installation of the Ash Street Sidewalk Project. Clint, welcome.
See you, Clint.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So just like Mr. Crowe said, we are seeking approval to apply for the ALDOT TAP grant. We plan to use the funding to support the installation of the Ash Street Sidewalk Project. If you remember, I think it was last fall or so, we came before you to get approval for the engineering for this project. The reason we did that was to develop the plans to use the cost estimate from those plans to add it to this application for the TAP grant. So we have a cost estimate from that, and we're wanting to include that in our application. Again, this is it's a sidewalk. We're improving the road right here. We're adding curb and gutter, sidewalk.
Right here, where?
I'm sorry? There should be a slide. Is there a slide on this one? Okay, I got you.
I have no idea.
I have a document right here, but it's right there next to Benjamin Barnes.
Yeah, no Benjamin Barnes. It's straight.
Yes, sir. It's to connect Benjamin Barnes to Colton Park right there. And we're improving the road by adding curb and gutter, adding sidewalks both sides to get to improve the connectivity in this area. This item we are planning on doubling up for council this evening. The reason for that is because ALDOT has a short window when they open up the application and when the deadline is. The deadline is May 31st, so that's next Friday. And with no projects committee next week, or with everything closing next week, we couldn't comment just right.
When did they open the grant process?
It was, I believe it was early this month. It was that first week, I believe it was something like that. We spent some time putting together the application. You know, we had talked in-house just to make sure this is the right path, and this is where we landed. Ideally, you know, we would want to come before y'all much earlier than this.
Did you mention that, I know last year in the budget, because Ms. Howard and I talked about this part of her money deployed in her district, you used that, or she used or chose to use that money for the engineering study on this? Did you say we would maybe be reimbursed? That money, did I hear you say that we'll ask for that as part of the grant or not?
I don't recall.
Reimbursed 800 out of the 1.8, right?
Right, but overall, there,
The 180 or whatever, what is that?
So the TAP grant that we're applying for is for $800,000. That, and that will be used for construction. It won't be a reimbursement of any of the engineering fees. It'll apply toward the construction of the project.
So it's $1 million of our money, 800 of the state's money, if we get the TAP grant.
That's right. Now, the
And if
total,
we don't get I don't know, are TAP grants kind of a layup? If you apply and have the match, is it almost a given or is it a?
we've been successful in the last 3 applications
Okay.
that we've done. We did get the TAP grant. Our engineer's cost estimate for the total construction of the project is $1.8 million. So if we receive the TAP grant, that'll be $800,000, and we'll need to, find funding for roughly 1.1 or 1.2 million to move to construction.
Is this different than I think, if I remember, Carly may have to help me with my memory, last week, we talked about $500,000 for sidewalks in part of this, and so it went from 500,000 to $1 million. So I'm assuming we're adding more
I'm
feet
not
to this, or
familiar with
what's the difference?
Are you speaking about in the slide presentation?
Yeah,
The
well, I mean, there was
$500,000?
$500,000 allocated, but now it looks like it's double that.
You talking about in the capital project?
Yes, yes.
And you're right, Mr. Trow, in my 24 capital budgets project recommendation, we have $500,000 slated for phase 1 of Ash Street.
So what is this phase 1 and 2, or is this, I mean, are we asking for more because we're getting that 800,000, I'm guessing?
So if I understand the mayor correctly, he's earmarked $500,000.
He's recommended 500,000.
But that wouldn't be enough money.
And if we get the
Well,
grant,
say,
we'll have
one or two
$1.3
on the
million total that's already
Catch
here.
up.
So we'll still be short. even with
That's what I'm
everything
trying to-
together.
So if we act positively on the recommendation for 500 the Ash Street, and if we get the grant, there's 1.3, and we're still then looking for 500.
Right. We'll have probably at
Is
least
that the
2
way this
years.
reads? Or is this being the whole million or what?
So to me, this is a project that I've been trying to figure out the budget for a while. And I've already started the engineering, so to say, because I have that budgeted. So I feel that it is very much so necessary that we apply for the grant at least, it's a grant. But with everything that's proposed in the mayor's capital projects proposal, this is still needed too.
So, let me ask this question another way, is the 500,000 that was put before us last week, is that part of this 800,000, or is this in addition to it?
It's in addition to it.
And we're being asked to decide this all in one day.
All we're asking for today is
To apply
approval
for
of
a
the council
grant.
to apply for a TAP grant.
Wow.
That's all we're asking for. No more.
Wow.
Yeah, but this
That's
is a
all we're
grant.
Wow.
Yeah, it's 1.8.
But I hate I had to kind of get real direct on that, because that's the question I have.
So she'll be short 500,000.
No,
Right.
she-
Yeah, I mean,
she's-
but my-
if
but my
the grant
point-
comes,
We'll
short,
find that.
we're short $1 million.
Yeah, but my point is that it's a grant that we just need the approval to apply for before the deadline.
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't think I do either.
Let me apologize, I'm not certain why the confusion, but that ultimately rests on me, not with the council, with us as a staff. So we're not meeting our standard. And so I was out last week, I'm not certain why we have some holes in our details, and it does put you in an unfair position. I wasn't aware of the TAP grant opportunity when I presented my budget to you 3 weeks ago. So that wasn't in our calculus. Last week, Mike asked for permission to go ahead and put this opportunity before the council. And I felt like we needed to brief you on that opportunity.
Well, can I ask, I think whenever we can apply for a grant, we need to do that. Let me go on the record saying that. So let me rephrase my question. If we do not get this TAP grant, what happens? Because there was $500,000 proposed to the council in the project, capital budget project, that we still haven't approved yet, but it was proposed to us. If we don't get the TAP grant, which we need to try to get the TAP grant, because to me, with this kid was in there, my county high math, 800,000 and 500,000, 1.3, not 1.8. So what is different about this than what we started talking about 2 weeks ago? Is there anything different, or was this the same project that the mayor recommended us $500,000?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
So what you're saying, Mr. Chair, is that we would still need 500,000, and where would that 500,000 come from? Is that what you?
I'm just curious,
We
because we have, I mean,
find the
well, absolutely, and I hope we get the $800,000 grant. It just puts us in a position that is not, it's, well,
It's a well-made project over there.
if we don't get the grant, then the project is still 1.8, right? Or we have to figure out a way to spend it.
Or you downscope the project.
That's right.
The project is 1.8, no matter what, unless we phase it. That's the total cost for the Ash Street sidewalk from Benjamin Barnes to Carlton Park. That's 1.8 million, and we could phase it.
We shouldn't phase
Well,
that.
we
shouldn't
need to
do
get
that. We
the
should do
grant.
that. We should do
We need
that
to get the
project.
grant.
We absolutely want to get the.
Absolutely.
We don't need a phase 1 and 2 for a project, for a sidewalk project on Ash Street. We built the park over there. This neighborhood deserves that entire project done. Why would we phase that? We could
Councilman, I don't
find
think anyone
$500,000.
thinks that it needs to be phased. I'm
Yeah,
not saying that.
that's what
I'm
I'm saying.
asking
Let's
a
get
question
to it.
about where the money is gonna come from. Because we've only been shown $500,000.
I understand that,
But-
but I'm sure, I'm sure that we're capable of finding 500 more.
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
I've seen it done.
I'm confident that I can find it, but we have a lot of improvements going into this area, much needed improvements. And this just adds on to the quality of life. You know, if any of you have worked in this area, or just driven through this area, it's long overdue. So
Don't disagree, Councilwoman.
Yeah.
So what we're voting on right here is to allow you to apply for the grant. And then if the grant is approved, the council will have a discussion on where this money comes from.
That's right, and if it
Correct.
doesn't get approved, we'll be back before you looking for a
we
different course of funding,
definitely will.
That's right.
or a different dollar.
All right, other discussion.
And if this gets approved, and in 40 minutes, I expect us to approve the 500,000 in the,
Road construction, capital budget?
yeah, but I don't think
It's
it's,
in there.
I have to look, is it up for today or not? Anyway,
It was
I
supposed to be.
withdraw my mumbling. Are we voting to allow application
Absolutely,
of a grant?
absolutely. I'm fine with that.
So moved.
Move to second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3 is approved. Item number 4 is approval of the minor public works contract with Warrior Security for data, coax, and speaker installation at Fire Station 6 and 11. The total is $22,710.17. Tim, welcome.
Thank you, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, this work is for Warrior Security Form, data cable installed, at Tuscaloosa Fire Station 11, as well as installing cabling for the antenna system, providing and installing the speaker system and wiring, as well as the data racks that are necessary for both fire stations. Of course, this is work outside of the scope with the contractor on those jobs. And it's funded by two separate project accounts, one for each account. The breakdown of cost at Tuscaloosa Station 6 is $6,170, and at 11 it's $16,504.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is approved. Item number 5, Tim, you're still there, approval of minor public works contract with Crimson Carpet and Flooring for carpet installation at fire station. Tim, the total is $1,060.
This is, another project funded by, some of the grant funding that the fire department received, for station improvements. And this is for installation of carpet in the common area at the station.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 6, it's recommendation and selection of Duncan Coker for the Powell Police Athletic League Court Improvement Project, requesting authorization to negotiate scope and fee. Tim?
Yes, sir. We issued an RFQ for, work at this site, which is to, provide a new basketball court, a new court surface, as well as, lighting and security improvements for the site. And so we are requesting to, recommending to use Duncan Coker, requesting to move forward with negotiating scope and fee.
Tim, let me say, Mr. Chair, this project is in my district, and I think we've seen simple renderings of this. What is the timeline, do you think, that negotiation will be brought back to us?
I think we can bring a proposal, with Duncan Coker back here, I would say within the next 3 to 4 weeks. And that proposal would be to move ahead with design. Of course, there would be costs associated with that. And so once that's approved, we would probably have, a couple of months of design before we would start to really be able to provide, what the site may look like.
Other questions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 6 is approved. Item number 7 is approval of a minor public works contract with Renovations Plus to expand the dumpster pad, fabricate and install new dumpster enclosure and grade pour concrete for proper flow into storm drain. That's a lot of words there. And $56,800.
Yes, sir. And in your packet, you'll see a couple of pictures. One is of the storm inlet behind this dumpster. The other is the design of new concrete, along the side here, the, Water Business Office drive-through. What we've got here is a storm inlet that is approximately at least 6 inches above grade. There's a lot of water that goes into this area. And so we've got an issue with flooding in the area. You can see in one of the images, some of the underground conduit is exposed. So what we want to do is correct that slope, correct that drainage, get everything going into the storm drain. Simultaneously, we've got some damage to the dumpster enclosure that sits right beside that storm drain. We want to remove that enclosure, widen the pad to allow for an additional dumpster if determined that was needed at some point, and then reconstruct a new enclosure while we're doing the work at the same time.
Question?
So. I'm sorry, where again was the money?
No, I did not say it. This is funded by facility renewal.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 7 is approved. Item number 8 is approval of professional services contract with Alertus Technologies. The total is $11,500. Jason, welcome.
Sir, good afternoon. This is the annual maintenance renewal of the Alertus City Hall alerting and notification system. This is expected and budgeted cost in our maintenance.
Question?
How does it alert us?
Through there's an app through everyone's desktops. There's also speakers and beacons in the hallways of City Hall. This would be tornado warning sounded right now. That alert us to that. So as to go to our safe space. That's what.
Motion.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 8 is approved. Is there any other business to be brought before our committee? We will not meet because of Memorial Day next week. Our next committee meeting is Tuesday, June the 4th. Hearing no new business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.